If you're a mom who's done the therapy, tried the mindfulness, done the productivity hacks, and you're still feeling really overwhelmed and reactive and you wish you weren't, this video is for you. Because by the time we're done with this video, you are going to understand one shift that changes everything in terms of how to actually heal your nervous system and why so much of the advice out there telling you to be calm, etc., doesn't work. Why does this matter? Because at a large scale, mental health is at an all-time low, and mothers in particular are really burnt out, having to do it all, be it all, fix it all. And on the other hand, on an individual level, that looks like crying alone in your car in the parking lot before you go in to pick up your kids, wiping the tears away, putting on a smile, hoping no one will notice. It looks like struggling to answer an email while juggling dinner and bedtime, feeling guilty no matter what you do, and breaking down over one lost sock, or the lost stuffy that your kid can't find. Or maybe it's snapping when you don't really want to be and feeling really bad about that reactivity that you feel in your body and wishing that things could be different, knowing that things can be different. That's not who you really want to be. That's why it matters. And at the heart of it, all of that doesn't even matter, because what matters most is actually that you want something better for you. And I'm here to say that you deserve something better for you. You deserve something that works. So we're going to talk about that today. And how can I say this with so much confidence? Well, it's because I lived it. It's been my life. I was there. I was the one staring at the ceiling late at night, crying quietly, silently, hoping no one would notice or hear me, wondering, is this my life now? What's going to happen in the next 10, 20, 30 years? Am I still going to be okay with this? And realizing that I wasn't okay with it. And that's all fine and good, but it's also not just me, because it's also every client that I help and support. They gain the same. The client that recently told me, Vivian, what I have now is lived vitality. I feel so alive. I feel so focused. My productivity has gone up. I have more clarity. I have less cognitive load. I'm not ruminating as much about things. And I'm moving forward towards the dreams and the life that I'm building with vitality. Or the mom who shared with me that she feels so much more calm in her life now that she's not striving for calm, but she just is calm. She's become calm. It doesn't mean that she doesn't have moments of flare-ups, of course, but it means that she knows exactly what to do in moving through it, in embracing it, in those moments and understanding what's going on for her. And she's got deeper connection with her children, where she's able to navigate the difficult emotions and conversations with so much more ease now. And the client who felt like he had lost everything, but in spite of that said, Vivian, you changed, that this is life-changing. Even though I feel like I'm rebuilding everything up from scratch, I have so much peace that I haven't felt for over 10 years. And that is what it looks like to start to master your nervous system. That's what it starts to look like when you're healing it and working with it and not just against it. And what do I mean by working against your nervous system? What does that even mean, right? Well, working against your nervous system is what we're familiar with. It's ignore, suppress, even dissociate from our feelings and emotions and things that are coming up for us. It's barreling through our reactions and impulses when we get activated into a fight or flight response, or shut down when we're in freeze. And there is nothing wrong with those responses, but it's understanding what's happening and working with them rather than trying to push them away because it's uncomfortable, which is so common. It's what we've been taught. It's what's been normalized. So here's the plan for today. In this video, we're going to talk about our nervous system. I'm going to explain a little bit about it, about how it functions, because it gives a little bit of context into you, into how we're all actually designed and wired. And then we're going to talk about the shift. We're going to talk about the one thing to understand that will change everything and start to bring healing to you, your body, your nervous system, and ultimately to the relationships and connection in your life. So let's talk about our nervous system. Our nervous system was designed to help us to survive. We all know this. This is often what we are thinking about when we think about nervous system. We think about the fight or flight response. And I know I touched on this a little bit already, but in general, the fight response is where we get activated and we think that we have to confront the adversary and hopefully win. And then we've got our flight response, which is, you know what, I don't know if I can beat them, so I'm going to run away. and get away. But the other response is freeze. Freeze comes up and happens for us when we don't feel like we can get away or win. And so the body ends up conserving all of its energy. This is supposed to be a person on the ground. And we go into energy conservation mode and we freeze. Freeze feels like dissociation, freeze feels like disconnection, freeze feels numb, feels like not really feeling like doing anything, don't know why, feel like I might not be able to move. Freeze. So these are the three responses in general that we all are relatively familiar with. But here's the thing that no one talks about. Yes, our nervous system is there to help us to survive, but the other aspect is our nervous system is actually there to help us connect and create. So when we are in this fight, flight, freeze response, we go into rationing. So the body sends the signals and we start to conserve what we need to and allocate and triage the resources within our body to help us survive. So fight or flight, it means that, blood gets pumping to our muscular tissues, our arms and legs. You've got increased heart rate, you've got increased, like lung capacity, pupils dilate so that you take in more light so you can see more clearly, but it's also really hyper-focused, so you might get some tunnel vision. We've experienced this before. Freeze might look like conservation of energy. I'm not going to get into all of those symptoms, but the main thing that happens is this is all about resource triaging. And what also happens is your brain is not in full function because it's hyper-focused. It shuts off all the things that it doesn't really need so that we can survive. But when we are in the other state that our nervous system is designed to support us in, I call it the state where we are designed to help to create and connect. That state requires a single thing that we don't think about very often. And that is safety. And what's important here is that it's not just safety in terms of, am I physically safe? As in there's not a predator hunting me down right now, or a car barreling at me down the street. But it's also felt safety, it's emotional safety. And that kind of safety is something that many of us are not familiar with. We don't know what that feels like. And what I define this type of safety as is actually the safety to feel like you will be accepted for being who you are authentically. That's safety. And when you have that kind of safety, not just a physical environment safety, which is part of it, but that emotional safety to just be, that's when it unlocks and we have a much greater capacity as well as the resources available to us to connect and create. Because here's the thing, connect is important because when we're in fight or flight, it's us and them. Who's going to survive? Is it me or is it going to be you? So we go into an us versus them mindset. And we're not creating anything, we're just trying to get away. But when we feel safe, we can actually get into a we are all together in this and we can collaborate and we allow ourselves to get in touch with that connection. And on top of it, it unlocks more creativity, productivity, problem solving, logic, and mental capacity so that we can create and do the things that we want to be doing, all because we have this safety. So if there's one thing for you to take away from this today, it is that you need emotional safety, and that unlocks your ability to connect with the people and the things that you love. That includes the work that you do, the purpose that you're here for, yourself, your partner, your children, your family, etc. And what you want to create in this world, how you want to live your life. Most people think that managing stress is all about regulating your emotions, keeping them contained. It's actually not. It's actually about healing your nervous system and getting to a place where you understand safety and you're able to bring safety back for yourself and for the people that you love. That's where it starts. The rest of it comes later. And for those of you who are interested in learning how to do this for yourself, I will be having a live workshop on March 28th where I'm going to be going through this. I'm going to talk about how you create emotional safety for yourself. How do you do this when you have never experienced it before? Because until you know how to create safety and what it feels like for you, here's the thing, you can't create it for anyone else. So unlocking this for you actually unlocks it for the people in your life, including your children. You can register for my workshop. The link is in the description below.